Alright, I don't think that ad is gonna roll anytime soon. I don't know how to trigger it at the very start of the stream, I apologize. If there's like some weird background noise, I also apologize for that. That is my air conditioner running, my little portable one upstairs. It would be way too hot to stream without it, so we will just kind of have to deal with it as best we can. Hopefully it doesn't pick up too badly on the microphone. So we're doing the role quest for Dawntrail tonight so that I can re-up my full Burger King crown. I'm very excited about that. I spent a lot of time leveling up Warrior and White Mage to be able to get to these. We won't get to all of them tonight, unfortunately, but we will get to the main three and then go talk to the smith. Should be a lot of fun. So let's get started. We are in Tuliolal, down by one of the taco shops. That map is huge. I do not need you here. We're gonna talk to Brooke Evu. What's up, buddy? 6 a.m. I want tacos. Uncouth customers. Brooke Evu has an urgent job for a courageous soul. I was wondering when you'd be along. Not a moment too soon, either. I've got an urgent job that needs doing, and there's no one else I'd entrust with it. Oh, that's nice, buddy. Thank you. Of course, you'll be wanting to know the details. It's a long story, so why don't you grab a seat over there? I'll join you shortly. Where are we sitting? Right here. I'm saving the melee one for last. I've been told it's a lot of fun, so I want to save the best for last. Now that we're all settled, allow me to introduce myself properly. I'm Brooke Evu, proprietor of Shibali of Tie. I'm gonna struggle a little bit at first, I apologize. As you know, my establishment is open to anyone. People hailing from across Tyrol, and sometimes further, come here to whet their appetite and slake their thirst. Given how we turn no one away, it's inevitable that a few bad apples might mix into my motley patrons, and therein lies the rub. A particularly rotten bunch was here not long ago. Oh, I get to play a bouncer. Cool. Look how good he looks. He's so pretty. Sitting just over there, in fact, and having a conversation most foul. I thank you all for coming here so far from your respective homes. I don't know what voice to give this mystery character. Dang, those are some expensive glamours that they've got on. As this is the first time we have all gathered in one place, perhaps formal introductions are in order. I am. Welcome, welcome. What'll you be having? Ahem. Could we have a moment, please? We are in the middle of something very important. Don't be rude to her. Now then, where was I? Oh yes, I am Apyahi. If you are sitting here now, it is because I have personally invited you to the Passage of the Unbound, my secretive villainous order with ambitions to sow discord throughout the world. Hey, yo. Villains do not often call themselves such. Nor do secret orders have their meetings in places where all eyes can see. What do you know? Your snide remarks only ruin my carefully constructed atmosphere. If I had time to think of a suitable slogan, you would understand that words are everything. But I digress. I invited you all here for one reason. To throw the world into a mire of chaos and then watch its nations crumble. What else would we call ourselves if not villainous? My only interest is to punish all who've dared to mock and belittle me. So long as I can achieve that, you can call me whatever you like. The rich, the powerful, the mighty, all shall be crushed under the weight of my ire. This poor waitress, I hope they tipped her well at least. A grand design for a group of 6. Even if we manage to muster others to our side, there's a limit to what we can accomplish. I regret to say you are right. At present, we are bound and powerless. That is why, in order to raise our fists against our oppressors, we must find the strength to shatter our shackles. And in doing so, we shall become unbound. Like the birds soaring up above, we shall take flight and spread our wicked wings, staining azure skies black. Oh, I like her. But sometimes skies become treacherous with clouds, and even birds must rest. You speak of finding strength. Is that why we are here, to look for it? If so, then I pledge my aid. With newfound might at my beck and call, I shall win adoration known only by a hero. Your eagerness is heartening, and you are correct. The tools to make our goal a reality lay in Tyrol. Across this continent can be found certain artifacts which possess untold power. Did you say artifacts? Oh ho ho, I sense an adventurous hunt for instruments of devious devilry ahead. My imagination is overflowing with images of the new forms my trickery might take. I dare say the world is not ready. Yes, well, to get to the heart of the matter, the objects are held by the disparate tribes which make their homes in the Tyrol continent, where they've been passed down through generations as sacred treasures. Whatever stories these people have attached to their so-called treasures matters not. Each contains the essence of fearsome beasts called Tyrol Vidral, and with them in our possession, none shall be able to stand against us. We shall take the objects for ourselves, bring them across the sea, and use them to undermine nations far and wide. The means by which you use to do so, I leave in your hands. I only ask that you not disappoint. I take it there are no questions. Then let the passage of the unbound open unto the world. We begin at once. Aw, that guy has my hairstyle. Not cool. They didn't order a single thing. That's the long and the short of it. What do you think? They might lack discretion, but they seem formidable nonetheless, or they left without ordering anything? Villainous indeed. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. That's the funny option. If you hear me taking screenshots during this, no you don't. It's right there in their name. They're unbound by manners and respect and won't be welcome back here anytime soon. You, on the other hand, can stay as long as you like. Of course, we had a duty to report what we heard to the Landsguard. We did, but it didn't make a damn difference because we soon learned those unwelcome guests had teeth. Not long ago, one individual from a remote tribe came here seeking help recovering a stolen relic. Then another came with the same story. Then another, and so on. By the time we realized the passage of the Unbound was a real threat, they had one and all made their way across the sea with their ill-gotten gains. Each tribe has sent one of their own to recover what was lost, but being in strange lands are at a disadvantage. That's why I've been looking for someone who knows every corner of Eorzea and beyond. Yeah, that would, in fact, be me. Now, I know you've business in Tyrol, or else you wouldn't be here in the first place. But if you could take the time to hear Raoul Majun out, you'd be doing a service to many who could really use a helping hand. I love her. I love her already. Oh my gosh. Hi. Go speak with Raoul Majun. Where is she? There you are. I've been having some weird loading time issues. I don't know. I don't think it's an internet thing because I'm hardwired in, but bear with me with that. Greetings. Allow me to thank you personally for lending your assistance in this matter. We've been quite desperate for someone suitable. Greetings, Raoul Majun. At the risk of becoming a daily nuisance, I must ask, have there been any developments you might share? A nuisance? Why, perish the thought. You've come just in time, in fact. None other but the vaunted Crow has agreed to aid the search. Finally, a fortunate turn. So long as our sacred treasures are in wicked hands, our homes shall know no peace. To say nothing of the danger they pose to other nations. If these thieves really do intend to stir up chaos across the seas, then you had better depart on the next ship. Yep, you got it, buddy. Before you do, it might be proper to introduce you to those who have come to Tuliolal in search of aid. Hang on, give me a second. Lo Ziniqui there comes from a village far to the north. A single warrior cannot hope to withstand the power of her tribe's relic, so she requires a stout protector, someone that can be leaned upon when times are darkest. The heirloom that Nipine must recover, afflicts terrible maladies upon its victims. He seeks someone who commands great healing magics to counteract this effect. The search for Shashepia's tribal treasure has been entrusted to a peerless hunter. She requires someone to act as a frontline fighter who can distract her target while her bow takes deadly aim. And lastly, there is Suhe, who knows little about her people's ancient artifact aside that it must not fall into the wrong hands. She seeks a mage of great power, but anything beyond that lies shrouded in mystery. Aren't you forgetting someone, Rahulja? Your crisis is just as pressing, even if you won't say so yourself. Rahulja hails from further south even than Mamuk, and has traveled many days and nights in search of someone who can strike down their prey from afar. It's the only way to escape the effect of his village's treasure. Did I get that right? Indeed, indeed. I do get so forgetful in my old age. Thank you, Raoul Majun. 5 tribes, 5 stolen treasures. All are waiting for the aid of a brave soul. Hopefully that can be you, Crow. Of course, I'll share all I know on the matter. You only need ask. And I know that I will not hold it against you should you choose to assist only those for whom your talents are best suited. So long as you do what you can, the people of Tyrol, and maybe even further, will be in your debt. I adore her. She is so heckin' cute. We have gained access to the role quests. I am going to do my absolute best with the names. Please bear with me as I get a feel for them. It will get better as I practice. So we're gonna do the healer quest first. Where are you? There you are. Maybe. There we go. In the sting of things, Niepine's gaze is transfixed upon the crowds until he spies you. Yeah, like I said, I've been having these absolutely bizarre loading issues, and I don't know why. What business do you have with me? Here to help, buddy. What do you need? Ah, my apologies. You were Baruch Avu's guest, were you not? I am Niepine, and I have journeyed from the far... Try that again. I have journeyed far from the northern valleys of Shaktural to reach this grand city. Tell me, traveler, what is your name? Crow. Rest assured, I shall remember it. A shame that we must meet under these unfortunate circumstances. My village's prized possession was among the treasures stolen by the passage of the Unbound. It is known as the Heartstring, and the soul of a dread scorpion, one of the Tural Vidral, is sealed within. The creature once hunted its prey using an array of toxins produced within its body, and was a menace to all. Those granted the Heartstring's gifts may wield its fearsome powers they see fit. We believe the thieves have already taken it across the ocean to Eorzea, and it will doubtless wreak havoc in the wrong hands. Thus, I seek a healer to remedy any harm wrought by the Heartstring's toxins in that faraway land. I won't mince words. You are precisely the sort of man I seek, and we must act quickly to avoid the worst. Will you lend us your aid? Aiding those in need is what I do best. You have my gratitude. To the matter at hand, while I was making inquiries here in Tuliolal regarding the thieves' whereabouts, some Eorzean merchants told me a rather intriguing tale. Specifically, those returning from Limsa Lominsa bring fell tidings, tales of able-bodied men and women suddenly losing their vision. Well, that's not good. An all too familiar account, as the Heartstring allows mastery over all manner of poisons, including those that inflict temporary blindness. A great deal of training is required to properly utilize the Scorpion's gifts, but the blinding toxin is one of the simplest to wield. It seems to me the brigands are the masterminds of these strange incidents, harnessing the treasure's power for their own nefarious ends. Give me a second here. Loshkana. The village elder's daughter makes for Limsa Lominsa in pursuit of the Heartstring. I intended to set sail with her, but my foot was badly injured by a strange mechanical doll during the thieves' ambush. Loshkana insisted I remained here to recover, and she would not take no for an answer. I must ask that you cross the sea in my stead and provide Loshkana your aid. Loshkana. Considering that our enemy wields deadly poisons, the danger is too great for her to face alone. Based on when she departed, I presume she's arrived at her destination by now. She boarded a merchantman captained by a woman named Baldbrida? Close enough. Who is primarily based in Limsa Lominsa. She may be able to help you locate Loshkana. I am gonna struggle with the names for a little bit here, and I do apologize for that. I'm gonna do the best I can. This does not just include the Turali name, this is all of them. For those curious, I have not streamed main story on purpose. I finished it that first week. And I'm kind of glad I didn't because it was rough for me personally. Without getting into like story spoilers, it hit very personal spots, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Y'all did not need to see me cry like that. Or hear me cry like that. But so far, like 10 out of 10 story. I think that was a follow. I don't know the sound effects. Whichever that was, thank you so much. And welcome, welcome. Yeah, I typically tend not to do main story because it only takes so much time off my day job to do this stuff. And, I know how audience retention works, and I know that people are not going to watch somebody doing main story on, like, day 3 of early access. So I opted not to do the 7.0 story this time. That may change for 7.1. We'll see. I am Balbrita, and if you are planning to sell your healing services to me and my crew, don't. Me ship ain't setting sail for a short while. Not looking for you. Looking for a Tirali woman named Loshkana. Aye, she made the crossing with us, trying to retrieve some sort of treasure, as I recall. I told her Hawker's Alley was her best bet for the latest chatter, so you may find her wandering thereabouts. Keep an eye out for a Huron lass in a red tunic carrying a spear on her back. She can't have gone too far. Okay, back the way we came. Yeah, I did greatly enjoy the story, even as much as I cried during it, so if you have not started it yet or are still partway through, you are in for a treat, even if it hurts. I gotta say, too, these dungeons this time around got hands. Oh, hello, Ulfie. Crafting away. Some very interesting things that they have left themselves open to do is what I'm gonna say, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it. Oh, hello there, stranger. Can I help you? Yeah, your buddy sent me. Nyipine sent you to help, did he? Seeing as if it hit something of a dead end, your timing couldn't be better. I suppose introductions are in order, then. I am Loshkana of Shaktaral. And you are? I'm the Warrior of Light. A pleasure to meet you, Crow. With that, we're strangers no longer. I'm not sure how much Nyipine's already told you, but I assume you'll want to hear more about the day of the theft. My father and Nyipine had just set a trap using one of the heartstrings toxins, and they were on their way to return the treasure to its resting place. But an evil presence stirred in the wilds that night. Mechanical dolls with great glowing eyes leapt from the shadows and gravely wounded them both. My father survived the encounter, thankfully, but he was unable to give chase, and convalesces now in my home village. The culprit's faces eluded him in the darkness, but he heard two voices, a man and a woman's. He recognized neither, so we're certain they aren't from our village. Whoever those two were, they must have been the one controlling the dolls before making off with the heartstring. Brooke Evu said that they're part of this Passage of the Unbound, but I'm afraid that's all I know of the culprits. Still, that may change if I can ascertain the cause of the recent blinding incidents that have occurred here. Unfortunately, I haven't had much luck asking around. The thought of addressing even one person here is, well, overwhelming. When you're from a remote village like mine, the few I've attempted to speak with were too busy to even listen in the first place. You, on the other hand, look ready to take on the world. Or at least this city. I'm sorry to ask this of you so soon after we've met, but could you help me gather the latest hearsay at the markets? Yeah, you got it. Many thanks. I'll search the quieter districts for clues in the meantime, and hopefully not get myself lost along the way. Girl, it took me like 6 years to figure out how to navigate Limsa. You were gonna be fine. It is perfectly okay to get lost in Limsa Lominsa. Now that I've completely dated myself, I also want to say it is my 10th anniversary next month. Playing this damn game. And I've got some fun things planned for it. You gotta give him good luck for crafting. Blinding incidents? I know of them. Started with some bad fruit at a stall in Ocker's Alley. A few bites in and folks suddenly go writhing on the ground like beach sea serpents, claiming they can't see a bloody thing. I don't blame them for raising hells with the shopkeep, neither. Poor sods couldn't move an elm till the treatment came and they could see properly. The shopkeep was rightly furious about the whole ordeal and took it up with his longtime supplier. Escalated into a real spectacle, it did. We have an ad starting in about 45 seconds or so. Turns out the same problem was occurring at other stalls and with fruit from different suppliers, so it don't make sense to pin the blame on individual sellers if the whole supply chain's tainted. Even now, nobody knows what's causing it. Grim business, I tell ya. Well, you know what they say, one and a few bad apples spoil the bunch. The recent chaos in the markets? I'm told the Yellow Jackets have been thoroughly investigating the matter in cooperation with the Adventurers Guild. If you're in a hurry, there's a Yellow Jacket making her rounds by way of the Fisherman's Guild. She'd be a good one to ask. Oh god, my frame rate. What is happening with my frame rate? Oh my god, why is my frame rate so low? Good lord. Why, yes, I know about the blinding incidents. I experienced it firsthand. I was rather peckish, so I purchased some fruit from a local stall and took a few bites my way home. But before I knew it, my vision went dark. I stood there, shaking and crying, terrified of what would happen if the darkness never faded. I thought I was alone, until I heard a woman nearby howling with laughter. Fortunately, I didn't suffer for long. A passing adventurer cured my sight with Asuna, and I went about the rest of my day as though nothing happened, but I haven't been able to look at fruit the same way since. We're gonna go find the Yellow Jacket. Gonna make my way there during this ad break. Thank you all for your patience in dealing with that. If you use an ad blocker, that is totally valid. I understand. I encourage it. And if you don't, thank you for supporting the channel, either through subscriptions or with ads. Is this the way I want? Yes. Oh god, my Feast of Famine quest that has been sitting for a year at this point. Gonna wait for the ad to finish so people don't miss anything. If you are not viewing the ads, consider finding the YouTube channel. Does that command work? Tragically, no. That should take you to the channel where you can find the VODs and stuff. I will try and figure out what's up with Nightbot tonight after stream. I don't know why he's not working, but there's other stuff. There's Final Fantasy, there's Lethal Company, some stuff on the YouTube channel, so go check it out. 12, be good. You're Crodalava, aren't you? The Crodalava. It's an honor to meet the realm's vaunted hero up close. Is there aught I can assist you with? I hear all sorts on my rounds, so if it's information you're after, you've come to the right person. Well, she's cheerful. Oh yes, the serial blindings. They're causing a terrible ruckus around here. You know, a woman in red came this way a few moments ago to ask about the very same. I take it you two were acquainted? Aha, I thought so. As I told her, another incident was reported yesterday morning. The victim bought fruit from a local vendor, took a few bites, then temporarily lost all vision, same as the rest. The vendor in question was last seen to the south of the Octant, so I'm headed there next to follow their trail. You're welcome to join me if it'll help your investigation. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Go, go, go. I hate Limsa Lominsa. Not my favorite city to try and navigate. Gee, I wonder if there's something going on here.
He's paralyzed. We've got to do something. But I have no talent for healing magics, and I don't have any spine drops on me either. Perhaps Asuna might do the trick?
Yep, I gotcha.
I'm healed? I'm healed! Oh, thank the 12, and you lot, of course. Excellent work, Crow. On behalf of the Yellow Jackets, I owe you my thanks as well. Now, I hate to ruin the mood, but I'll need to report this to my superiors. Could you tell us what transpired here before we found you, sir? It was awful. Just awful, I tell you. I was walking home after another arduous day at work, minding my own business, when a Lalafellan merchant suddenly called out to me.
I believe that's a follow notification. Thank you so much for the follow. It's not telling me who, but thank you. Yeah, there's some stuff borked on my settings that I'm gonna have to look at. I apologize for that.
You, my good man, look exhausted, he said. Why not soothe away your weary spirit and fill your empty belly with one of the realm's sweetest apples? You've earned it. Nay, you deserve it.
Me getting a little treat on the way home. Silence bank account, a little treat is speaking.
'Twas a tempting sales pitch, but I wasn't keen to gamble on potentially cursed fruit. Sensing my apprehension, he proudly declared his merchandise safe to eat. He sounded sincere enough, even took a bite of the apple himself. No tainted fruit here, he boasted. Just normal, honest-to-God's produce.
Why would you take the apple that somebody has already taken a bite out of?
He sold me the apple at a reasonable discount, and all seemed well. That is, until I took my first bite, and numbness spread through my body like wildfire. I collapsed to the ground, struggling to speak a single word. The vendor and his fruit had suddenly betrayed me, yet I knew not how. As I fell, a woman's shrill laughter echoed from a few yalms away, and the vendor soon followed. I never saw the woman for myself, what with the whole not being able to move business, but between her laughing fits, she made mention of a heartstring or some such. Oh, you poor dear. And this woman you mentioned, you're positive she spoke the word heartstring? As surely as the wind blows. For a mercy, neither she nor her vendor friend tried to steal my belongings, but they've certainly stolen my dignity. I hope those conniving charlatans get what's coming to them. This is dangerous fruit we're dealing in. First blindness, now paralysis. Trying to remember all the voices I'm giving people. Help. But first things first, I should escort this man home. If you've a mind to pursue the perpetrators further, then have care out there, alright?
Just give it a second. She's here. She's just hiding. Come on. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my game or my internet. It shouldn't be doing this. I am hardwired into my connector, my router. So I don't know. There's no doubt about it then. Our thieves are at large right here in Limsa Lominsa. The blinding toxin is simple enough to master, but it's unsettling how quickly they've learned to inflict paralysis as well. I just don't see what purpose this all serves. Were you able to learn anything of their motives? So they take pleasure in their victims' pain, but nothing more. At least, nothing more that we know of. Whatever their true aim may be, we must discover it quickly before more victims suffer at their hands. A hunter must adapt to their environment if they wish to snare their prey, but I have so much to learn about this place. Still, I've tracked them this far, which is a good start.
For the time being, I'd like to petition those officers in yellow for any new information they acquire on the Heartstrings' whereabouts. When we come across any promising leads, I hope I can count on your support again.
Absolutely. Causing problems on purpose. Me on any given day of the week.
Say, Crow, can you spare a moment? I'll try to start on a positive note then. The good news is that there's been no further incidents involving poisoned fruit. I should be happy about that, but it's not exactly conducive to tracking down our thieves. Despite my best attempts, my investigation's at a standstill. Crow! I bring news from the Coral Tower. A Lalafellin man matching the description of that fruit vendor was seen leaving the city with a Huron woman. It seems they were making for Aleport. We've increased patrols of late, so if I had to guess, the culprits are finding it harder to operate within the city. Seems we forced them to withdraw for the time being. Aleport, you say? That's on this island, isn't it? Yes, that's right. It's possible to go on foot, but the ferry by Fisherman's Guild can take you straight there. While we Yellow Jackets must continue to keep an eye on things here, it's reassuring to know an adventurer of Crow's caliber is on the case. If you plan to pursue the subjects, Aleport's your best bet.
I hope this Yellow Jacket gets a name. I like her.
That said, I should get back to work. It was an honor to meet you and your friend Crow. Safe travels to you both, and give those crooks a good thrashing for me.
Can we just take a minute to appreciate how good the textures on the stone tiles look?
The city's protectors place so much trust in your abilities. I'm lucky to have you on my side. When I first set sail for Eorzea, I feared I'd never see the Heartstring again, but we're one step closer to bringing it home. In any event, we'd best find our way to the port town before that pair of troublemakers defiles another fruit supply. I'll go on ahead and take the ferry. Meet me in Aleport once you're ready.
Alright, to Aleport we go. Hopefully, with a less populated area, I will not have this weird, frame rate drop. It is going to take it a second to load in, though. So, I know that this is the Final Fantasy IX expansion, but real ones have been here since A Realm Reborn, not gonna lie. This is the figurehead on the Prima Vista ship. Y'all wanna see how hard I can cry about Final Fantasy IX? I'm sure you don't, but eventually it is gonna get played on stream.
Ah, there you are, Crow. You're a welcome sight among such unfamiliar scenery. The ferry skipper was eager to teach me all about this area on the right here, so I believe I have a general idea of what's what. Wouldn't want to lose my bearings on a hunt this important. I asked about our merchants, but he said he hadn't seen a pair like that. The skipper did mention another merchant, though, one who's well versed in the comings and goings of his fellow traders. If anyone's sighted our unlikely duo, it's him. Let's hope it's enough to put us on the culprit's tail again. The merchant we seek should be peddling his wares by the gates to Skull Valley, so let's start there. Oops, this way. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, having 10 days off for Dawntrail and trying to go back to a normal work-sleep schedule was, an experience. Can I help you? Lalafell and you're traveling together? I have spied 'em. Though I'd never seen 'em before, they certainly made an impression. They sold some potions and elixirs to a pair of fresh-faced adventurers on the cheap, from what I could tell. Wrong voice. If those merchants really are our culprits, then those potions are most likely tainted with toxins. Toxins, you say? That doesn't bode well. The adventurers who bought 'em, a marauder pair named Wisum and a conjurer named Zarek, already left for their next job. Said they were escorting one of the local farmers over to Swiftperch. They're good lads, the two of them. They've been making life easier for the small folk here ever since they arrived, and I'd hate to see something happen to them. Someone needs to warn them about those potions right quick. Leave that to us. Swiftperch is southeast of here, yes? Let's find them before the poison takes hold. And what we're gonna do, if I can find it, if you watch these streams, you can also get your own Chocoper mount, who does some very cute things when it flies. You will also get 10 Aetheryte tickets and a set of leveling food that gives you a 4% boost, which is more than what you normally get. Ooh, we lagging tonight. Time to fire up the Holy Blender. I'll help out the Sage. Thank the gods you found us when you did. Those potion sellers must have swindled us. One draught of elixir was all it... Oh no. One draught of elixir was all it took to send Zarek into the most furious fit of hiccups I've ever seen. Poor bastard couldn't cast a single spell. Sorry. I shouldn't laugh. Who are you calling a poor bastard? If the heartstrings toxins are at work here, we should be able to cleanse them with Asuna like last time. I'm sorry, did you say... Oh, sod it. We'll have plenty of time to chat after Zarek stops hiccuping a storm. I shouldn't laugh at this poor guy. I feel bad for laughing. I hate to ask more of you, but if you could cast Asuna on my partner, it'd be much appreciated. Oh, okay. She's gonna keep watch. It's like, dang, we're going aggro right out the gate, aren't we? I can speak again. You have my thanks. Bloody hells. First we waste our hard-earned coin on poison potions, and now there are killer mammoths on the loose? What's the world coming to? Who goes there? Show yourself! Oh me, oh my, our spear-wielding friend is sharp of eye. Oh, she's so cute, though. You're the frauds from Aleport. Why, yes, and watching your scrawny compatriot suffer was the highlight of our evening. I admit the poison was meant to silence him, but hiccups? 'Twas comedy at its finest. Perhaps the elixir reacted with the venom. Regardless, we've had our fill of fun from the results, so I shan't complain. Venom? Then you must be the thieving cowards from the Passage of the Unbound. Oh, my sweet fairy apple, you know us? I suppose that means we're famous. I can't believe it. Oh, who am I kidding? Yes, I can. Indeed, I am the Passage of the Unbound's alchemist extraordinaire, the illustrious Ellerette, and I'm so very, very pleased to make your acquaintance. Kokonoa at your service, Ellerette's helping hand and master of mammoths. Your garb is so familiar to me, my dear. Ah, don't tell me, you hail from that little village in Tyrol, don't you? My goodness, you've come a long way. How was the voyage? Enjoying the sights? Enough! You've got a lot of explaining to do, starting with the reason you took the heartstring. Is this part of your organization's grand scheme? Well, well, the apple bites back. 'Tis true that my unbound compatriots harbor lofty ambitions, yes, but I have no interest in overthrowing nations. I merely crave the mires of chaos they've promised me. I am going to bring more laughter into this dreary world, one mischief and a few handy poisons at a time. Kokonoa are having oodles of fun expanding our repertoire of toxic treats. Listen, I'm just saying I could fix her, but whatever's wrong with her is funnier. Yet there's no greater kill to our thrills than a healer who can whisk our hard work away. Unless, of course, I master a toxin even he can't cure. Ooh, I do love a challenge. Now, I hate to leave you, my dears, but our work here is done, and we've a busy schedule ahead of us. Mammoths to mend, venomous misdeeds to master. Ta-ta for now. No, wait, damn you! I think these are going to be a lot of fun as far as the stories go. I'm not going to read that on stream. You can go back and look if you need to. This odor is too much to bear. Take me home to the 12's wood whistle. The air is clearer there. You're gonna be fine, you baby. Oh no, you don't. Don't you dare give out on me, Zarek. We've still got a job to do. We mustn't keep our client waiting any longer, but we're in your debt. Thank you again for everything, Miss, Loshkana. And this here is Crow. Take care of each other out there. As much as I'd like to track down the Unbound, I know better than to tread further into their territory without a plan. For now, I think it best we return to Limsa Lominsa. Oh, Ice Horse, got it. Yeah, like, I don't want to jump into the old trope of I could fix her, but I feel like I could give it my best shot. Give it a second to load. While it does that, I'm going to drop the extra life link into the chat. Because we are, as always, raising money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals right here in the Kansas City area. So if you have a few bucks to spare, it goes to an excellent cause. I cannot overstate the good work that they do. I found out through a project last school semester that I did involving them that they helped like 55,000 kids just in this area alone. Just at one partner network. Which is kind of bonkers if you think about it. Like that's a ton of kids that needed that help and were able to get it. Thank you for the support back there, Crow. Asuna truly does work wonders. And that Ellarette, I can't stop thinking about what she said. My blood boils knowing that this is all some sick game to her. How dare she toy with the heartstring for her own amusement? Honestly, even the youngest children in my village have more sense. Still, we did make progress. Now that the villains have revealed themselves, it'll be easier to give chase when they choose to make their next move. In any case, I'll keep you appraised of the latest news as soon as I hear it. We'll be back to the hunt before long.
Hang on, 1 second. Sorry about that. Oh, it's you, Crow. You'll have to forgive the dour mood. I don't understand it. How is it that Elleret and Kokonoa can so grandiosely reveal their names and identities, yet I remain unable to track them down? I've been following the latest hearsay, but I haven't had much luck. Not a soul's seen them since the incident with Wisdom and Zerig. But that's not to say I've given up entirely. Now that they know I'm on their trail, I suspect they're using their unfamiliarity with this island to their advantage. I dare say they're lying low outside the city. That's why I propose a trip to the Morabee dry docks. Folk here often speak of it, but I've yet to go there myself, so it seems as good a place as any. If you're game, I'll meet you there. I remember when Morabee was my my reduced rate teleport, because I spent way too much on my island. Way too much time. Well, Nocia always did have the best music, I think, of the ARR areas. Ah, there you are, Crow. While I was waiting for you, this fellow came asking for help. Sorry to trouble you, but me little brother's gone missing and I could use a hand finding him. He said he wanted to see the ships I made, so I started showing him around. But the next thing I knew, he was gone. Lad's probably got himself lost. Oh, that poor dear. I know we still have the heartstring to consider, but I'd like to search for this man's brother, if that's alright with you. Much appreciated. I'm sure we'll find him all the faster with your help. You have me thanks. Me brother wouldn't say... What the f does that mean? Me brother wouldn't say boo to a goose. So I doubt he'd leave the docks on his own. He's got a mop of red hair like mine, so you'll know him when you see him. We'll keep an eye out. I know you're itching to search for him as well, but could I ask you to wait here in case he comes back? Let's split up so we can cover more ground. Good luck. This must be one of Jack's relatives, because he just said stuff that made absolutely no sense to me. The dichotomy of Final Fantasy XIV players. You can either understand what Urianger is saying, or you can understand what Jack is saying. There is no overlap in those two scenarios. Must be up here. Oh, there you are. Aw, kiddo. Oh, buddy. It's okay. I'm scared. Where are you? Huh? You're here to take me back to my brother? You found the little one, Crow. I'm so glad he's safe. I just wanted to see the ships my brother was working on. I thought I could see him better from higher up, but I lost my way. It sounds like you've had quite the adventure. But you were very brave today, so I'll tell you a secret. Even grown-ups get lost. I have an awful time learning my way around somewhere new, even with a map. Really? I guess I'm not the only one. Smile. We like to see those. Now, your brother's very worried about you, so can you promise me you won't go wandering off on your own again? I promise. I should say sorry to my brother, too. Let's take him back, then. This was cute. Crunch. My kneecaps. We have an ad starting in about a minute. We'll pause when it gets to that and let it do its thing. You're lifesavers, both of you. You deserve a proper reward, but I ain't got much to offer at the moment. Oh, we're in no need of coin. Just some information if you have it. Have you seen a Huron woman and a Lalafellan man around the docks in recent days? One is an alchemist and the other a goldsmith. They'd likely have a few mammoths with them as well. If not, have you heard any rumors of food or drink that causes ailments when you consume them? Blindness or numbness, perhaps? Afraid I haven't seen or heard anything or anyone like that. Sorry I couldn't be of more help to you. That's alright. Knowing they haven't been around the docks is equally helpful. Well, that's good at least. I'll be praying to the navigator you both find who you're looking for. Any road, the two of us ought to be heading home. Thanks again for everything. Good fortune and safe travels to you both. I don't know what this accent is supposed to be. Still no word of the Unbound, but at least we could help those brothers. Children often let their curiosity guide them, which means they'll naturally wander off on their own adventures. I don't blame that man for worrying as much as he did. Something tells me you speak from personal experience. I do, in fact. I'm the oldest sibling in my family. Hey, me too. I can't tell you how many times I've had to search for my brothers and sisters when they were growing up. Now that I think about it, I've barely even told you about my family or my village or anything, really. I'd be happy to share a few stories if you'd like. The ocean view here is beautiful, so we may as well enjoy the scenery and relax a little bit. That ad has started. I'm gonna let the text roll for a second, or like sit for a second while that rolls. I don't want people to miss things. Enjoy the new Dawntrail themes. About 30 seconds left. I guess I should probably talk about Extra Life too. Hannah is my local coordinator and she is an angel. I talked to her for this project I did for a class. And they helped like some 50, almost 55,000 patients, all of them children, most of them without insurance. And they were able to get everything from medical procedures to art therapy to anything they needed at no charge to their families. So it is just a phenomenal program to check out. I've been doing this for 7 years, I think. I believe this is my 7th year participating, and I'm almost at my $10,000 lifetime mark. So any amount goes towards that. Really, really helps this community out, and I cannot tell you all how much I appreciate what my community has done in the last few years as far as the fundraising goes, so thank you so much for that. Alright, ad break is over, let's read some dialogue. My people hail from the northern valleys of Shaktaral. We're a close-knit community of hunters for the most part. Children are given spears, well, practice ones, before they even learn to walk, and we hone our tracking skills from a very young age. Holy crap. Is it that surprising? It seems second nature to me, but then again, I've encountered my fair share of surprises here as well. Our village rests in a veritable sea of poisonous plants and animals, so the slightest injury on a hunt can prove deadly. Thus, we believe it prudent to begin our training as early as possible. Yet no matter how skilled we might become, accidents are inevitable, and the heartstring proves vital to our survival. Not only does it produce poison, it cleanses it as well.
In the right hands, it can dispel some of the deadliest natural toxins known to mankind. It even purifies the beasts we hunt. In fact, our diet consists of highly venomous creatures, ones that would normally kill a grown adult if ingested. The heartstring allows us to lead a quiet, peaceful life in lands where others dare not tread. It always has. I suppose that's why I never imagined someone like Elorette would take that away from us. When I left, our village food stores were well stocked, but I can't bear the thought of my younger brothers and sisters going hungry. I must return the heartstring as soon as I can, for their sakes. I wish to bring back their smiles and make them feel safe again, just as we did for that young boy. In any case, thank you for listening. Thinking of home puts me in good spirits. As long as I remember who and what I'm here for, it'll be alright, I know it. But I've kept you long enough. I think it's time we made our way back to Limsa Lominsa, don't you? Listen, I am also an oldest sibling, I get it. I really do. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot of commentary in between. The transition back to work from Dawntrail vacation has kind of kicked my ass this week. And if we don't get through all of these tonight, and I don't think that we will pick this up again next Thursday. We might get through the healer ones tonight. We'll see how far we get. And if we don't get through all of them, we'll go on Thursday again. Here you are. That was a much-needed reprieve, but we'll need to plan for our next destination, and soon. Well now, fancy meeting you here. Ah, it's these guys again. It's good to see you two again. What brings you to Limsa Lominsa? Nothing of import, really. Just a bit of restocking before our next job, but we happened to spot you along the way. Didn't want to miss an opportunity to greet our heroes. Our client arrived to Swift Perch in one piece thanks to your timely assistance. Indeed, while I regret that you had to see us in such a pitiable state, we're both grateful for your aid. They're good kids. When last we met, you spoke of pursuing those two charlatans, did you not? Yes, that's right. They have stolen a precious heirloom from my village, so I'm doing everything in my power to return it to its rightful place. So that's the way of it. Bombastic as those two were, we've not seen hide nor hair of them in Aleport since. No word of any incidents like ours, either. But I've a feeling they won't stay in the shadows for long. If we sniff out any suspicious incidents while we're out and about, we'll keep you informed. I won't say no to some extra pair of eyes around the island. I've made my base of operations here in the city, so if you hear even a peep about a poisoning, you know where to find us. See you later, guys. Well, we may not have found any leads on Elorette, but I am glad we had a chance to chat. And with Wislam and Zerig on our side... Wissolm and Zerig, things are looking up. For now, I'll keep in touch with our newfound allies. Should I hear any news on our culprits, I'll be sure to let you know. Well, we might get through 2 of them tonight. So this is already, what, the level 96 quest? Come on. Good lord. Crow, am I glad to see you. I've just received word from Wissom and Zerig. Our culprits have finally been spotted. It seems the thieves headed for Upper Lenosia. I offered to make my way there as soon as I could, but Wissom and Zerig said I should hang back for now. Once they've gathered enough information, they'll be heading back to Aleport. Let's go and see what news they have to share.
Yeah, I don't know what is with this weird lag tonight. I'm so sorry. Ooh, what we got? What we got? No sign of Wisdom and Zerrig yet. I don't mean to assume the worst, but I admit I'm a bit worried. I knew I should have insisted on going. I don't want them injured on my behalf. I say we head out and find them. Miss Loshkana, terribly sorry for the delay. Wisdom, Zerrig, thank goodness. How did you fare out there? You found Elaret and Kokonoa, yes? Oh, we found them all right, but it didn't take long for them to find us. We were set upon by Kokonoa's mammoths. His mechanical menagerie greatly outnumbered us, and may very well have been our end. Death by mammoths isn't an ideal way to go, mind you, so a retreat was our only option. Cowardly though it may sound, we needed to ensure we could keep you aware of the culprit's whereabouts. Before they spotted us, they were stuffing their little metal army into a skiff bound for Camp Bronze Lake, and mark my words, they're plotting something new. Of course, it's entirely possible they seek a quiet route to eastern Lenosia and wish to bypass Bronze Lake instead, but a thorough search of the camp would be wise. Alas, the enemy you face is far beyond our capabilities, so this is as far as Wisselm and I will be able to go. I'm sorry we couldn't provide more decisive information. Honestly, I should be the one apologizing. You've risked life and limb for me already. I never meant to push you past your limits. You needn't dwell on it. We're as eager to bring those criminals to justice as you. Indeed. We shall at least take pride in knowing we could point you in the right direction. But we should take our leave for now. Wisselm and I ran most of the way here, and I think I speak for both of us when I say we could use a comfortable chair and a hearty meal. None can gainsay your strength, my friends, but I beg you not to underestimate that of our foe. Go well, and may your determination guide you to victory. I like these guys. I hope we see them again sometime. Camp Bronze Lake. The ferry skipper spoke of the place on my first time here. We should hurry and seek passage before Elaret and Kokonoa elude us again. The mental voice that I'm giving the Lalafell is Robert Pattinson in The Boy and the Heron, the Studio Ghibli movie. That high, nasally, growly voice. I just cannot emulate it for long stretches at a time if I'm going to do this whole story tonight. Which, I believe that movie is out on streaming. I know it's available for purchase. It is phenomenal. What a lovely camp. Now, if I were a half-crazed alchemist with the heartstring and a new scheme up my sleeve, where would I hide? Is it just me, or are there pigs flying in the sky? It hurts to laugh. Oh no. Oh dear, that doesn't bode well. To the upper levels, Crow, quickly. Poisoning the springs? You truly are the lowest of the low. You flatter me. 'Twas just a little poison, really. As a treat. Oh my god, that's so good.
I'm afraid I couldn't contaminate all the water here, but we're having oh so much fun with our shiny new hallucinatory toxin.
Step away from the springs, Crow. Now.
Protecting the healer, are we? How sickeningly sweet of you. But you ought to watch your step as well, my dear fairy apple, unless you find yourself seeing stars or,
Elorette? Is Autumnus? Oh no. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Kokondoha, you look absolutely hideous. Or should I say adorable? Why, you're as bonny as a porcelain doll.
Oh no, she got the backfire. The hells are you on about?
Oh, very interesting. Yes, very interesting indeed. I believe I may have poisoned myself. Now there's a predicament. And guess what? Do you recall those antidotes I prepared at the base? Because I've forgotten to bring them.
You are your own worst enemy, do you know that? I suggest we retreat before you decide to dive headfirst into the springs for fun. Unbound scum! Do you think we'll allow you to walk free after all the chaos you've caused? Well, yes, actually. Have you seen Elorette? She's in no state to contend with you, and I've never been one for rough and tumble. Of course, you're welcome to give chase, provided you have no qualms about leaving these poor souls to laugh themselves senseless. I mean, they'll be fine eventually.
Retreat though we must, I would call today a rousing success. But worry you not, my dearest bushel of busybodies. We've plenty more tricks in store for you and the entire island.
Oh, this again. These guys are so funny. I don't sense any toxins in the water anymore, so the springs should be safe again. What will happen to the toxins from here? Seeing as Elorette suffered a taste of her own medicine, I doubt she's mastered much of the heartstring's power. As such, any poison she produces from it would be relatively weak. Most of her handiwork has already evaporated with the steam. One might compare it to the way those awful unbound smoke bombs dissipate, and thank goodness they do. In more capable hands, however, the heartstring's poison remains active unless dispelled with a suna or another form of antidote. The same permanence applies to its cleansing abilities for our food. Now, there's much on my mind, but I think we've bigger problems to address first. Let's make our rounds of the camp, then talk about our next steps. I'm going to have a look around the springs to ensure the toxins are gone for good. Could I ask you to treat any victims you come across? Go help the poor people.
Much appreciated, sir. I wasn't anywhere near the water when it was poisoned, but the toxic steam must have drifted this way. When I heard the rumblings about mysterious mammoths roaming around the camp recently, I was more than a little apprehensive, but I never expected those mammoths' masters would do something so cruel. Your efforts are helping us put this turmoil behind us, and for that you have my thanks. But I can't simply let you administer this aid alone. I should tend to the remaining victims as well.
Laugh weary Lalafell. Oh no. I thought I did do that, didn't I? There we go. Oh no, not the white boy cornrows. Oh, thank the gods! I wasn't expecting to nearly laugh myself to death at a place meant for healing, but at least I can breathe easy again. I hear you're chasing after the ones who did this. You're either very brave or very reckless, but I'm inclined to assume the former. Any road, all that laughing has exhausted me, so I may as well take a break from my soak. Thank you again for your kindness, and may the navigator keep you. One more. I feel like this whole storyline is a not subtle jab at the healers who don't keep Asuna on their hot bars. My costumed compatriots, they're gone. Farewell, my visions. May you revel on in my memory. They say laughter is the best medicine, though I feel far worse than before. Many thanks for putting an end to it. I think I've earned myself another soak and an extra flagon of mulled wine. Pleasant travels to you, healer. Up this way. Fate discovered nearby, but the ones I really need to do are the ones in Tyrol. I want the fancy umbrella and the mounts. How goes the healing, Crow? Fine. They're all good. Wonderful. I'm glad Asuna proved effective. For my part, I've given the springs a thorough look. The toxins have dissipated completely, so the bathers should be safe from here on out. As for Elaret and Kokonoa's antics, I've had a moment to reflect on everything. Now that our work is done, do you have a moment to chat? I'm well versed in the numbing and blinding poisons we use on our hunts at home, but something kept troubling me about Elaret's toxins. I've never seen anything like it. I had no idea it even existed among the Scorpion's gifts. Elaret may be inexperienced, but the fact that she's learned to inflict hallucinations is cause for concern. Still, we should try to look on the bright side. She's yet to discover the heartstrings' cleansing properties, judging by the way she couldn't cure her own ailments. Knowing her as we do, I reckon she only has toxic trickery on her mind. Kokonoa, however, handled himself surprisingly well despite his exposure. Do you recall the man in Limsa Lominsa who ate the poisoned apple? He claimed that Kokonoa took a bite, yet never suffered its ill effects. He must have some manner of immunity. But how? Traditional Dunes folk families often drink poison teas to build tolerance. Lore stuff comes back. How intriguing. So instead of using an heirloom like the heartstring, the Dunes folk train their bodies to endure fatal toxins. I'd be interested to try that tea, so long as I had an antidote in hand. I didn't realize Kokonoa might have had that sort of upbringing, but it would certainly explain why Elaret's tricks don't seem to affect him. Few in my village would ever think to consume potentially lethal food or drink. Let me try again. Few in my village would ever think to consume potentially lethal food or drink without drawing on the heartstrings' power, yet the Dunes folk do it gladly. The more I consider our differing approaches to poison, the more fascinating it becomes.
But I have a feeling the bathers won't want to overhear our talk of poisons after what they've just been through. Why don't we continue our discussion in Limsa Lominsa?
Gotta think about it. Yeah, I will try and get that sorted before I stream again. It's just been with Dawntrail that this has been happening, so... I don't know if it's something odd with my game install or not, but I'll look into it. Come on. Whew. I know I've been anxious to ascertain our thieves' whereabouts, but things escalated far quicker than I thought. Your presence throughout the whole ordeal was a welcome one, Crow. What was not so welcome were Ellerette's parting words. Whatever she has planned for the whole island, it can't possibly be good. Her acts of mischief have only grown worse since I arrived in this city. We must take the heartstring back before she causes any lasting harm. Of course, it was Wisselm and Zerig's efforts that led us to Ellerette, so I'll have to thank them when I get the chance. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to track down our unruly thieves and report to you as soon as I'm able. Oh hey, we're almost done with this already. What's she giving me? Mesquite juice. Crow, I'm glad you're here. I'm on the cusp of a breakthrough in our search. Or I'd like to think so. This won't come as a surprise, but Ellerette and Kokonoa went back into hiding after the Bronze Lake incident. With all their grandstanding, I wasn't expecting them to lay low for so long, but I doubt they'll keep it that way. Fortunately, we have prior experience to guide us. Until now, our culprits have traveled all over Vilbrand, and they don't appear to be retracing their steps. I hear Costa del Sol attracts many visitors, so that seems a likely target. They say it's owned by an entrepreneur named Gegeruju. Perhaps we can ask if he's spied anything out of the ordinary. Okay, bye. To Costa del Sol. Excuse me. I remember one winter a couple years back, it was so damn cold. I thought to myself, you know what, if I can't be warm in the house, because I live in kind of a drafty older building, I'm gonna go to the beach and at least be warm there. And I got here and it was fucking storming. I was so upset. What picturesque scenery. I hadn't expected Costa del Sol to be so grand. From what I gather, Gegeruju should be just up ahead. I don't suppose you're already acquainted with him? For better or for worse, yes. That's not very encouraging, but as long as you're on good enough terms, I'm sure we'll be fine. In any case, let's be on our way. This fucking guy. Well, well, if it isn't our favorite intrepid adventurer, what business brings you to my abode? Why, yes, I did spy that lovely specimen of a Fuhrer. God, you gross, dirty old man. Alas, I was so entranced by her feminine wiles that I cannot recall any such entourage of Lalafilin men or mammoths.
Ah, would that I never drank that wine she so gracefully gifted me. One single sip and I saw oh so many stars. I have thought them wonderful in those first blissful moments. I partook of the drink amongst my retinue of kittens. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yet as the rush of stars subsided, I found myself surrounded by a flock of unfamiliar faces instead. I think that those are the guys from, the Moonfire Fair. At first, I presumed the wine caught up to me faster than I had anticipated, but time passed and the unknown faces stubbornly remained. I dashed across the shore in terror. In the midst of the mayhem, I could hear her, the wine-wielding beauty, maniacally laughing in the distance with some other chap. I feared these cackles would be the last thing I ever heard. We have an ad break in about 30 seconds. Which is precisely why I found it appropriate to slap the sense back into him. Judging by the way Master Gegeruji was darting around at the time, I suspected he'd been in his cups. Drank the whole bloody bottle. So if you wish to investigate the wine itself, I'm afraid that won't be possible. I'm gonna pause right here, ad break. God, I hate this old man so much. He's so disgusting. I think the ad break is over? Well, we'll keep going, and it'll show up on the VOD. Can you blame me? Questionability of her wine aside, that woman was immaculate. A sight for sore eyes. Any gentleman of taste would have fallen for her tricks. Though we may lack the drink in question, we received reports of mammoths roaming Raincatcher Gully not long after the incident. If you intend to investigate this further, you'd certainly be doing us a favor. Oh, it just started. Any news of... Oh, wrong voice. Any news of wayward mammoths is promising for us. We'll give the gully a look and relay to you whatever we find. Godspeed out there. Then our next destination is clear. But before we depart, Crow, might I have a word? I'm going to let the ad break run, and then I will talk to Loshkana again. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. About 30 seconds. Oh, I suppose I could show off the new barding. Do not perceive my inventory. Ta-da! You cowboy. Alright, ad break over. Let's talk to Loshkana again. Based on Gegeruju's account, it's safe to say Elaret's discovered a new poison. While similar to the hallucinatory toxin she used in Bronze Lake, it strikes terror into the hearts of its victims instead. I have a bad feeling about this. She's gaining proficiency with the heartstring at an alarming rate, so we must tread carefully when next we cross paths with her. As for the mammoths, Kokonoha doesn't seem the type to send them wandering around aimlessly. That's why I think they're bound to have some clues on them. If we can track those mammoths down in Raincatcher Gully, we may be able to discern what those two are planning next. Oh boy, finally some combat. I love the little, Cactuar stuffy that's on the saddle. That's so cute. I don't need no map for this area.
Raincatcher Gully has some of my absolute favorite music in the entirety of the whole game. Turn up a little bit. Oh, old school and Realm Reborn music. What I should be doing is showing off the new abilities. Turn that back down just a smidge. Phew. I think we've cleared out the mammoths. How fared your hunt? So they've been keeping a record of the island's rivers. Oddly enough, the mammoths I came across were patrolling the river as well. Now that they've tested their poisons on Bronze Lake Springs, do they mean to take to the rivers next? Uh-oh. Crow, watch out! Oh no! My, that dart was laced with a potent numbing toxin, but nothing bruises our favorite fairy apple, it seems. You never cease to amaze and annoy me in equal measure. She's like to have the same manner of immunity as I. Her village was positively brimming with poisonous flora and fauna, after all. I have a request for you, my dears. Would you please give up on your little trinket? Pretty please. I wish only to revel in the fruits of my devilry, yet you continue to spoil my every attempt. And trust me, I despise our conflict as much as you do. Indeed, do you think we enjoy watching our finest mammoths suffer at your hands? Enough! If you truly wanted to end this, you'd hand over the heartstrings. The scorpion's gifts weren't meant for a petulant, childish criminal like you. Fine then, no more Miss Nice Ellerat. But answer me this. Who of my antics killed, Who? No one, I remind you. So why must you refuse me? Why must the world refuse me? Our blighted society has never looked fondly upon my love of mischief. For years I despaired, until my unbound family and its leader granted me the greatest gifts of all, love and understanding. So as long as I remain unbound, I care not what the wretched masses think. I shall play my tricks as my heart desires, and all who stand in defiance will know my wrath. That includes you, my dears. My next scheme will finally plunge this island into the chaos I so desperately crave, and I will stop at nothing to see it realized. Where is he keeping those? Lit!
Sorry to worry you, Crow. I'm feeling much better now. I'm ashamed I didn't sense that mammoth's presence quickly enough. What's that thing? Oh, it's the dead mammoth. But I'm glad you came out of the ambush unscathed. That aside, I wish they didn't use such putrid smoke to make their exits. I don't know if my nose or stomach can take any more of those awful bombs. With Ellerette and Kokonoa gone, I doubt we'll be able to find much else here. Let's return to Costa del Sol and inform them of the latest. The worst part about this really beautiful sound, like music in the background, is that it is like wrapped up in another track that is an entirely different style than this. Like, it is just so jarring to have it come up like on a soundtrack shuffle, and it goes from that really like mystical, ethereal theme into the general Lenosia theme. Shall we report to Gegeruju? Yeah, we probably should. Back already? How fortuitous. Or ominous, or both even. I take it you found those wayward mammoths. Surveying Vilburn's waterways, are they? After the recent poisoning at Camp Bronze Lake, we have reason to believe the culprits are planning to make Vilburn's rivers their next target. So the culprits are one and the same, then. I'd had my suspicions since I caught wind of the incident at Warm Wine Springs. Regardless, this bodes ill. We may not know which of these rivers they'll strike until it's too late. Well, I shall not stand for any more preposterous poisonings. 'Twould be prudent to inform the maelstrom of these potential horrors. Those who poisoned you. Her name is Ellerette. She stole something precious from my village, and I must recover it, no matter the cost. If you learn anything of her whereabouts or her plans in the coming days, anything at all, I'd like to hear of it as well. That Lala took explosive storage lessons from Nashi. You're so right. Hell's bent on finding her, eh? A brave one you are. Oh, I couldn't possibly... Oh, Jesus Christ. Couldn't possibly deprive a lovely lady of the information she requires. Worry not, for my servants shall sally forth in your general direction the moment they hear of Ellerette's newest misdeeds. Oh, thank you. That'd be much appreciated. God, I fucking hate Gegeruju. It's going to be an uphill battle, but we can't afford to let Ellerette and Kokonoa elude us any further. Come, Crow, it's back to Limsa Lominsa with us. One more in the healer quest. We're almost done. Come on. You can do it, game. I believe in you. There's like 8 new titles I got just from MSQ that I want to use, but I'm trying to be respectful of the embargo. Some of them are very, very good. My invisible NPC will load in just a second. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. You are.
Thank you as always for your support, Crow. Gegeruju was interesting to say the least, but I'm glad we obtained the information we needed. I don't know why I allowed Elaret to say her piece. I should have swallowed my pain and taken up my spear. We could have apprehended her right then and there, and yet... Don't mind company buffs. There's no more room for mistakes. The longer Elaret lurks in the shadows, the greater the threat becomes. Countless lives are at risk. The next time we find her, we end her tricks once and for all. For now, I'll remain here and await news from Costa del Sol. An antidote for anarchy. Hello there, Crow. I've been on the lookout for anyone from Costa del Sol, but nothing yet. Perhaps we should travel over there ourselves, just in case... Master Crow, Mistress Loshkana. Forgive me the sudden entrance, but I bring a message from Master Gegeruju. Your quarry has been sighted in eastern Lenosia. Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't leave early. Thank you for bringing word. Where in eastern Lenosia were they last seen? Master Weisgate recently received a report from Mistress Brayflox, a trusted associate of his. We told a number of inbreakers with fighty tools and tinkerdolls infiltrated her longstop. We have little doubt the inbreakers and tinkerdolls she speaks of are Elaret and her troop. I see. Then we'd best find this Brayflox, and soon. Indeed, you're like to find her by the entrance to her longstop in Raincatcher Gully. My master and his associates wish you good hunting. $2024 and I'm still not free of Brayflox's long stop. We should get a first-hand account from Brayflox as well. Perhaps she'll have more to tell. Let's be off, Crow. It's a good leveling dungeon, sir. It's Brayflox's long stop. I think Wineport is better. Oh, holy shit, that's the Michael Bolton. It's gotta think about it. There we go. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. I know there's a Blue Plus quest over there. It's the Leave quest for this area, and I've just taken to not unlocking it on principle. So this is Brayflox. I told her she reminded me of a moblin, but I got a bit of a scolding for that. Not mobbies, she said. Gobbies. Yes, gobbies. And gobbies require hand lending to backstrike at inbreakers. Inbreakers bring big flock of tinker dolls to search for water gush. Water gush? Does Elaret mean to poison the island's water source? That must be why they were researching rivers. If the toxins are strong enough, anyone or anything that draws near the water would grow terribly ill. All of Vilbrin would fall into disarray. Poison makes no good for Gobbyflock, no good for Vilbrand, narrow hearts in need of many punishings. This goes far beyond trickery. We must end Elaret's ambitions here and now. I doubt she'll come quietly, and she has the heartstring at her disposal. But with your aid, Crow, I know we can take it back. As soon as you're ready, we'll storm the long stop. Alright, time for the duty, let's go. Well, this is it. Ready to storm the long stop, Crow? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Aw, she waved at us. There they are. Ooh, I
knew bringing those bits and bobs for battle was a good idea. If you're after some manner of surrender with heartfelt embraces and handing over of magic heirlooms, you've come to the wrong long stop, my dear. You monster. You plan to poison every waterway in Vilbrin, don't you? But of course, the trick is to let the poison stew for a few bells. With a healthy helping of those tantalizing toxins and a dollop of advanced alchemical processes, poof, this eyesore of an island will get a taste of my finest work yet. My latest masterpiece neither dissipates nor evaporates, and no amount of inherent immunity can save it from its influence. It may be safe to the touch, but one tiny sip will have you begging for mercy. That's no jest, by the way. I can't remember what voice I gave him. I won't begin to describe what manner of havoc the experimental doses wreaked on me, but I will look forward to seeing how it affects the general populace. Oh yes, the residents of Linsa Lominsa and its adorable little hamlets rely on this water. So very many people blissfully unaware of what's to come. And every single one of those wretches will be at the mercy of our malice. Every single one. If she unleashes those toxins into the waterways, this is going to end up far worse than Bronze Lake. Playtime's over, Elorette. Your precious scorpion once hunted prey with these poisons, yes? Perhaps I should learn from his example and revel in the thrill of the chase. Time to kick a bitch's ass. I suspect that's my cue to back away. I'd rather watch the chaos unfold from a safe distance. Coward. These venomous gifts keep on giving. My very ether is infused with their essence. So now, my dears. Ooh, she gets a title and everything. It's time I hunt you for a change. Oh, I hope we get the good Dawntrail battle music, the field battle music. Come on, you can do it. Ah, tragically no. I'll lead the charge, Crow. You focus on healing. My dear sweet fairy apple, I'm afraid you've soured on me. Prepare to perish. Pesky pest problems. Call for alchemical solutions. Oh, good lord. Look at all those buffs. Yep, I'm working on it. Yeah, this is definitely kind of a jab at the people that don't keep Asuna on their hotbar. The Elorette special, oh boy. Let's see, what does she have? Strengthening stimulant, concentration concentrate, mana medication, regens, high wire, causing actions to become erratic.
Damn it. I do like these, ooh, you need a touch up there. These big notices are really quite handy for people like me who are just dumb as shit sometimes. There we go. It's really funny that she got the splash damage. Oh, she's not doing so hot, is she? Who's this diva? Wounds are bleeding. Okay. Delusions. Ooh, interesting. Okay. What's the tell? Oh, not quite fast enough. Uh-oh. Sorry, the what? A good little goldsmith and sit this out. That's funny. Oof. Ooh, I see. Uh-oh. How's it feel, huh? I'm gonna snooze that ad, I think.
Enough, Ellerat. We must escape while we still can. A smoke bomb, quickly. Fine. Have it your way.
Uh-oh.
Wait, that's a goblin made...
Oh no. Doing fun things with the new face bones, I see.
No, no, no! You'll rue the day you made enemies of the unbound.
Team Rocket's blasting off again. She's left quite the mess behind her. Nothing the heartstring can't detoxify, though. Let's hurry and clear away the poison. Ooh. There you are, Crow. We came running once we heard the explosion, but I'm pleased to see you're none the worse for wear. Yeah, I'm good, homie. Ellerat and Kokanoa picked up the wrong explosive. We should consider ourselves fortunate that the goblin bombs resemble unbound smoke bombs.
Gobby booms and friendly faces win the day. Inbreakers go flying skyward.
We made our rounds of the long stop as well. The enemy Mehmets patrolling the place have all gone lifeless. Your treasure is safe, I trust? Yes, thanks to Crow's support. Very good. Should those troublemakers survive the impending fall, Jesus Christ, they won't pose the same threat without it. If they do happen to show their sorry faces around here again, I've notified the Yellow Jackets to be on the lookout for them. They send their regards, and their deepest gratitude, of course. The heartstring is safe again. Thank you for everything, Crow. And thank you to you too, Brayflox. We might not have found Ellerat and Kokanoa without you.
Brayflox happy gives hand-lending. Important for all good gobbies to offer hand-lending to fellow gobby friends.
It's an honor to be counted among your gobby friends. Now, as eager as I am to get the heartstrings safely back to Tyrell, I'd like to say my goodbyes to everyone here first, if that's all right. Weaselm and Zarek deserve to know how everything transpired in the end, for one thing. Shall we make our way to Aleport? You couldn't fucking pay me to talk to Brayflox willingly, by the way. I'm gonna snooze that one more time, and hopefully that'll be enough to get through this. Well met, you two. How fares the hunt for Elaret? You kicked her ass, bro. Sent them flying, did you? Now those are what I call good tidings. To think they'd confuse a goblin explosive for their own smoke bombs. Ha! Serves them right, I say. With Miss Loshkana's heirloom returned, we can breathe a collective sigh of relief. I, for one, am pleased there will be no more risk of poisoned elixirs. I wouldn't have wished those hiccups on my worst enemy. By the way, Miss Loshkana, I knew you traveled far to get here, but I didn't realize you hailed from Tyrol. That's quite a voyage. Will you be heading home soon? Yes, that's right. Vilbrand is a fascinating place, but my village is probably worried sick about me. And the heartstring, too, of course. Though your time here was short, you'll be sorely missed. We still have much to learn, but one day, perhaps, we might find our way to Tyrol as well. Oh, that would be wonderful. And when you do, I'll look forward to hearing all about your adventures. That's wholesome. And you. We had a feeling you were no ordinary adventurer. Imagine our surprise when we learned you were the savior of the realm himself. One of our Yellow Jacket acquaintances boasted about meeting the Warrior of Light while investigating the cereal poisonings, and that's when it dawned on us. She sends her regards, by the way. We've moms to go before we reach your lofty heights, but God's willing, we'll try to rise to the challenge. Indeed, you've given me much to aspire to as a fellow healer, and I shall do my utmost to follow your shining example. Be well, you two, and may we meet again on distant shores. Thank you both for your help. I'll never forget it. It's time I returned to Tuliolal. It would mean the world to me if you'd come too, Crow. I wouldn't want to report our success to... No. Nyipine without... Yeah, Nyipine without you. Alright, let's head back to Tyrol, or Tuliolal. Excuse me. Housing in Tuliolal when, by the way? Ooh, that's what I can do. If I get through the next one quickly enough, so I can show off the new housing exterior. Before anybody asks, yes, it is quite literally faster to just sprint. Loshkana, and Crow as well. Your combined presence here can only mean one thing. Crow and I have brought the heartstring home. So you have, so you have. I regret that I could not assist you, but I am relieved that all is well. Words cannot express my gratitude to you both. Taking back the heartstring was no easy task, but I learned a great deal on my journey to Eorzea. One of the Unbound, a man named Kokonoa, possessed an inherent immunity to poison built up by years of regularly ingesting small amounts. Rather than relying solely on the scorpion's gifts to detoxify us, perhaps we might learn from those traditions and build up a stronger immunity of our own. It would be prudent to prepare ourselves in case something like this ever happens again. If we're to continue living among the deadly, perhaps it's time we found new ways to overcome the challenges we face. Throughout my life in the village, I thought I knew everything there was to know about the heartstring. Snooze that one more time. But now I understand the scorpion's gifts can easily become a curse in the wrong hands. Its power can poison a single water source, threaten countless lives on a whim. Yet at the same time, its detoxifying powers can save just as many. I began to wonder, could the heartstring provide succor outside our village? Should it? Or will the risks prove too great? Excellent questions, all. Knowing what the heartstring is capable of outside our borders, we must consider this carefully, for the future of our people. I am certain your father will wish to speak more of it upon our return. As you can see, our community has much to consider if we're to keep thriving. But for the moment, I'm simply glad the heartstring is back in Tyrol, and I can't thank you enough for your help. Until I met you, I'd never hunted alongside a healer, but knowing I had your support filled me with courage. Yours is a heartening presence, one I'm going to miss dearly. You have my gratitude and trust, Crow, now and forever. But as much as I'd like to, I won't keep you any longer. Nyipine and I have a long trek home. I wish you all the best and hope... No, I know, we'll meet again someday. That was a good story. I liked that. Heartstrings, a heavy burden. That's a reference to a Howl's Moving Castle, the Ghibli version. Did that give me a title? Just gotta think about it. It did not. Okay. I'm gonna do the tank one, I think. There you are. The young woman gazes into the horizon with a troubled expression. The narwhal beckons. Oh, hello. Judging by your attire, you must be the traveler from across the seas. Then I suppose Baruch-Evu has enlisted you to our aid? That you were guided here safely must be the work of the brave narwhal, who remains watchful even in this dire time. We are ever grateful for its vigilance. My name is... Hold on. Lozaniqui, and I hail from the northern reaches of Shaktural, where even our breath freezes when caught in chilling winds. Our people revere a Tural Vidral of the narwhal, whose essence rests in the cradle of the sleepless, our most sacred treasure. Through fathomless depths it swam without rest, protecting its home from any who would do it harm. Legends tell that the narwhal could place the burden of its fatigue upon another, and thus was able to maintain its vigil night and day. So too can any who possessed the cradle lull a person, willing or no, into a deep slumber, all while avoiding the need for sleep themselves. Interesting. Needless to say, such a power could cause untold harm in the wrong hands. Thus was the greatest warrior of our village, Tentoa, tasked with crossing the ocean and returning that which is most sacred to us. I'd have joined him, but I feared it would only be a burden, so I remained here that I might have someone to send to his aid. Tentoa has ever rushed bravely and blindly into the thick of things, leaving me behind to watch and worry. But if there's anything I can do to help him, even a little, then I must. Baruch-Evu has done well to send you to me. I can tell you were just the man to temper his more reckless tendencies and keep him safe during his quest. Ma'am, I'm a warrior. I don't know where you got the idea that I'm the calm one in this group. As luck would have it, a letter from Tentoa arrived shortly before you did. It seems he discovered that the thief made their way to a place called Ishgard. While I don't doubt his prowess, even Tentoa would be rendered helpless before the narwhal's lullaby. Please, could you follow him to Ishgard and find him before he does anything rash? Ishgard is like a second home to me. This ad starts in about a minute. Thank you, Crow. I knew the narwhal would guide a brave protector to our side. Tantoa sails to an unfamiliar place, but despite his hasty nature, he'd doubtless spend time gathering information about his new surroundings before planning his next step. If Ishgard has a place like this one where people gather to drink and talk, he might go there first. Ask for a swordsman with blue hair and attire like mine, and I'm sure it won't be long until you find him. I'm going to use the ad break to get up and move around a little bit, grab something to drink. So let me head to Ishgard, and then I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Thank you for your patience. I may not get through all of this one tonight. We'll see. But yeah, Warrior's new stuff feels really good. I've been really enjoying playing it at 100. Unfortunately, I think I will have to call it at about 11, because I have to work in the morning. But we'll get through as much as we can. If it isn't Crow, what'll it be? Information, my good sir. A lad from the western continent? Well, I can't be going around gossiping about the comings and goings of my customers now, can I? That's a quick way to an empty tavern. But I suppose, since you're you, I can make an exception just this once. A lad much like the one you described walked through my door not long ago. Was asking anyone whose ear he could bend about some stolen narwhal or some such he was after. Usually you buy someone a drink before interrogating them, but not him. Nobody knew what he was going on about, but he was determined. Asked where else in Ishgard people might gather to flap their lips. So I told him to head to the Jeweled Croisier. If you leave now, I reckon he'll still be there. You'll know him when you see him, trust me. Ishgard is so depressing, especially at night. Let's see. There you are. Oh boy, somebody in the whole cursed chipmunk suit already. Yikes. Jerk. Bunch of useless... By the narwhal's horn, you'd think manners keep people warm for how desperately these people cling to them. And here I'm trying to rid their city of a thief. Yes? It seems you know me, but I don't think I've ever seen you before. I'd remember. Lozanique sent you? Even across oceans, she can sense when I'm in trouble. Well, I won't deny a helping hand, especially one with her blessing. I'm having no luck getting information from these people. Seems there are unwritten rules regarding favors that no one's bothered to tell me. That's Ishgard for you. I know the thief traveled here, but that's where the trail runs cold. I thought it'd only be a matter of time until they used the cradle to commit some misdeed or another, but it seems nothing is amiss within or without Ishgard's walls. I have only a description to go on, although it's availed me nothing so far. A woman of a race known in this land as Elizin. She has striking red hair and eyes the color of rust. A scar dominates her forehead and a mole rests upon her lips. She came to my village posing as a scholar with an interest in the cradle. Although she gave us a name, I know now it was a lie, just like everything else that spewed from her mouth. The bounty of meat, vegetables, and fruits she offers was worth its weight in gold to us. After the cold snap we suffered last year, we couldn't afford to turn her away. But looking back, I realized how brazen her deception was. Although she wore the robes of a scholar, she moved with the poise of a predator. I marked her as a fearsome warrior the moment I laid eyes upon her. Of course, she wouldn't have been able to travel so far north on her own if she was unseasoned, so I thought nothing of it at the time. It was my first misstep of many. That's all I know. It's not much, but if you see even the smallest scrap of a clue in there, it'd be a damn sight better than what I currently have. Probably the Astrologicum? Skilled sword to be known among the knights of the congregation. Knights, was it? I suppose it's what you call these deadly-looking fellows clad in steel. Yes, you may be onto something there. But where would we find one willing to speak? You don't have to, buddy. I pull all the strings here. At their barracks near the tavern? I know the way. I'll meet you there. Back the way we came. Aw, hell, my boy Firmalbert finally got some action. Funniest name in the entire city of Ishgard. My homie Firm Albert, yeah. Why, Master Dalova, what brings you to the congregation? This Passage of the Unbound is not a name I have heard before, but if one of their number has brought an artifact of great power to Ishgard, we would be ill-advised to suffer their presence. We shall act on this information at once. If there is aught that would threaten the peace, then it is our duty to root it out. Consider the knights of the congregation at your disposal. Thank you for hearing us out, truly. Now, does anything about the description we shared ring a bell? An Elysian woman with red hair and eyes the color of rust. Wait, you said she bore a scar on her forehead, yes? And a mole? No, it could not be. You know who she is? Well, such information is usually privy to only those within our order. Pray understand my hesitation. What? Weren't you listening to anything we told you? She's too dangerous to be left alone. This isn't the time for secrecy. I know I'm a stranger in your city, but I can't stand by while innocent lives might be at risk. If you can't trust Tentoa, then trust me. Tentoa? Tentoa. You are right, of course. If the hero who ended the Dragon Song War is not worthy of our trust, then who is? Very well. Master Tentoa, pray accept my apologies. Although you may not be Ishgardian, your desire to keep its people safe is plain to see. We shall place our trust in you, as Master Dalova has. I'm glad we can see eye to eye. Now then, what do you know of this thief? Your description called back some old memories. Memories of a knight named Leofine. Merely recalling her story makes me ill at ease, for the mark she left upon our honorable order was black as pitch. None know of her whereabouts since she was expelled from the congregation. I had thought living with the shame of her deeds would be punishment enough, but if she now consorts with the villains that threaten the very foundation of order, then 'tis clear we can suffer her freedom no longer. I shall inform my superiors of this development, and suggest that the congregation does all in its power to track down Leofine and place her in custody. If we learn aught of value, I promise to share it with you at once. Really? That's more than we could have asked. I suppose we ought to consider what to do in the meantime. Care to join me over there, Crow? See, my man was smart bringing a scarf to Ishgard. I was not. My boy from the tropics is probably freezing his ass off. So we have a name. Leofine, a former knight of Ishgard. That means she knows how to hide herself in this city well. Grasping about its straws won't get us anywhere. My own unfamiliarity does little to help our chances. We may have no choice but to wait until the knights discover a lead. Nevertheless, I intend to spend every waking moment learning more about this city and its workings. As for you, I only ask that you be ready to move at a moment's notice. Until then, be well. Sleepless in Ishgard. It's a good reference. There you are, Crow. I've been walking Ishgard's streets whenever I've been able, and have taken to searching for any sleeping people. You see, the land I'm from isn't much warmer than this, and people know not to tempt fate by dozing off in the open air. Even those blind with drink manage to find their way home somehow. I figure the only force powerful enough to overcome that instinct for self-preservation would be the cradle, so if we find a sleeper exposed to the elements, we may very well discover Leofine nearby. Can't imagine she brought it all this way just to remain idle. It's a tedious prospect, but we need to scour every back alley and shadowed walkway before anyone catches something much worse than a cold. Master Dalava, Master Tantoa, I bring good tidings. Then why is the danger music playing? The Temple Knights wasted no time in distributing handbills across Ishgard containing Leofine's description. These efforts have already borne fruit. We but recently received a report of someone matching her features being sighted. Really? Where? She was sighted near Camp Dragonhead by a patrolling sentry. He described a woman with red hair and a distinct scar on her forehead. The outpost can be reached by passing through the Gates of Judgment and heading east. Once there, speak with Sir Eugenois for the full report. I knew she'd show herself. Let's hurry, Crow. My many years of studying French finally about to come in handy. It's in this tab. Really blurry all of a sudden. Hang on. It may just be my player, my monitor. Ah, I was informed you were on your way. This is concerning the report by one of our sentries, yes? He sighted a woman matching the description in the handbill sent by the congregation. She was heading south along the footpath, but that is all we know. Ring, ring, ring. Banana phone. Yes, this is Eugenois. What? Hold fast. I shall send aid at once. What happened? A shipment of supplies was waylaid by monstrous beasts. A contingent of Temple Knights should have been protecting it, but something is amiss. Then they need our help. We would be in your debt. The shipment was attacked on the road west of the observatorium. I shall muster more knights. Please, go find my men before any lives are lost. Eee. I love this barding so much. Even more than the fancy barding that I won in the screenshot contest. There you are. They should be close, right? I'll search on the other side of the river. Crow, you search further down the road, and keep your weapon at the ready. Oh, Warrior, my beloved. I was a Dark Knight main for tank for so long. And then I started playing Warrior and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, I'm completely unkillable above a certain level. It is so funny to me. I soloed the Demon Wall boss in Google Library from like 75% just to prove I could. Probably not that high, but like it had a decent amount of HP. You saved us. We were almost. Oh. You won't be feasting today. Not a moment too soon. The wide eye watches eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. I feel like there isn't usually a best class per role. Each has its pros and cons, except Warrior, it's easily the best tank objectively. You are correct. We were too late. No, that is the correct take about tanks. No, they're not. Just look, they're asleep is all. Ish Guardians are gonna get this really, like, pretentious accent, I guess. Good. Good. Our trusty chocobos suddenly became unsure on their feet, and the wagon toppled onto the side of the road. There was nothing for it but to fix the damage on the spot. The temple knights went to secure the area, but before I knew it, each and every one of them had fallen asleep where they were standing. Then the beast attacked, and it was just me before those snarling fangs. Time to wake up. Sleep here any longer and the cold will have you. Ugh. What happened? We fell asleep, but we were patrolling. He must be mistaken. A temple knight would never shirk his duty so. Are you calling me a liar? I saw you fall over on your arse with my own eyes. If not for Sir Yejinwa's quick response and the bravery of these warriors, we would all be food for the vultures by now. The congregation will hear of this dereliction of duty, you can be sure. Aw. Now, hold on just a moment. They aren't the ones to blame. A sacred relic of my people was stolen, and... now isn't the time. Sorry, forget I said anything. Whatever dizziness overtook the chocobos seemed to have passed, so I'll resume my journey once the carriage is repaired. Assuming my guards are quite refreshed, I believe we can make it on our own. Please, return to Camp Dragonhead and warm yourselves. He looks so put out. It's no coincidence that the giant black birds and the two guards took leave of their senses around the same time. This is the work of the Cradle. But even if Leofine was here, she is no longer. Let's return to the city and consider our next steps. I gotta say, I got treated exceptionally well by the graphic update. Like, dang, he looks so good. Also, this artifact armor for the warrior slaps this expansion. Like, dang. This turned out so good. There's nothing dangling on it like with the white mage staff, but they have adjusted it so that, like, the little trinkets will sway when you pull the weapon out. We have received a report of the incident near Camp Dragonhead. 2 of our own sleeping on duty. By the Fury. Had you reached them even a moment later, this day would have been much darker. Although it pains me to say it, those 2 shall be punished as benefits the magnitude of their negligence. If I may, I don't believe the blame rests entirely on their shoulders. The cradle of the sleepless was used against them, I'm certain. Ah, yes. You said it possessed the power to lull others into a deep sleep. I admit that would explain these exceptional circumstances. Regardless, they were still bested by their enemy, and their charge was almost killed as a result. Punishment is the only recourse. I see. A harsh stance, maybe, but I can respect that you don't treat your duty lightly. Well, if you learn anything else of Leofine's plot, please let us know at once. Even though we didn't find her, I'm glad we were able to save those soldiers. Thank you for coming to us. Nay, 'tis the Temple Knights who owe you thanks. We shall continue our search, and rest assured you shall be the first to know of any developments. Crow, there's more I would tell you about the cradle. Things I should have told you sooner. Join me over there, and I'll do my best to fix that mistake. I may actually call it a little sooner, because reading all of these lines is tough. Now that you've seen with your own eyes what I've only been able to describe. The narwhal's lullaby can put even hardened warriors into a restful slumber. They may as well be defenseless as a newborn babe, but even with such power, my people have never used it to attack our enemies. Its sole purpose has always been to keep a single person awake, an eternal guardian who would never sleep, never rest. The wide eye. Me. For 10 years... Whoa, Jesus Christ. For 10 years I've been awake, training day and night to gain the strength I have now. The strength to shield my people. Good lord. Of course, another must receive the weariness I cast aside. The shut-eye. You've met her, in fact. Lozanique. As I've been awake these 10 years, she spent the better part of her days in a deep slumber. Her brief periods of wakefulness are spent exercising and eating so her body doesn't waste away. And so we've barely spoken, despite how much I depend on her. When we were young, we'd spend our days exploring the mountain paths, but that time is long past. Telling you all this now, I realize how very little of my life has been dedicated to my own pursuits. Lozanique and I both have devoted ourselves entirely to the protection of our village. That explains your skill. I'm not going to insult the guy. Every bit of my skill I owe to Lozanique. If not for her sacrifice, I'd be no stronger than your average hunter. But I've barely had the chance to thank her. But we don't have the luxury to dwell on regrets. I see now that although my people never used the cradle for ill will, wicked hearts can twist anything toward evil. And that's something I can't tolerate. The very thought that this might happen again makes the bile churn in my gullet. We must bring Leofine's schemes to an end. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it here, actually. Because like I said, trying to read all of these lines and doing the different voices has been really tough on my voice. But thank you everybody who came, thank you everybody who followed. And I'm going to drop that extra life link again. If you can, please consider donating. It goes to such an excellent cause. I don't see a penny of that money, and it all goes to charity. 50-some thousand kids that they helped last year. It's an absolutely bonkers amount of good work that they do, and every little bit helps. And ad break at the most inopportune time. God, I hate Twitch. I'm so sorry about that. We will pick this up next Thursday and finish out the warrior quests. Because this is what? 96? 94. Yeah, we'll pick this up next week. And finish out the warrior quest, or the tank quest, and hopefully the melee. And I will not be quite as pressed for time next week. So I think that will work out a little bit better. For now, thank you all for coming out and watching, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for the follows. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.